Good afternoon, pool players. Okay, so for this video, I am going to do an instructional rack of 9-ball. Just like the 8-ball rack that I did before, but 9-ball this time. I'll take you through the rack, show you what I'm doing, what I'm seeing, speed, spin, position play, thinking ahead 3, 4 balls, however many you need to at the certain time, but you always want to be at least 3 balls ahead. And we'll go through the rack and we'll hopefully learn something about running out in 9-ball. So, we'll start with the break. Break is very important because if you do not have a good break, then you are not going to be able to get out. So where this goes means a lot. This is a template rack, a magic rack. It is with the 1 ball on the spot. So when I break from this side here, that always means that the 1 ball is going to track towards the side. If it doesn't go into the side pocket, it's going to hit very close and then come up the table. Wing ball, in this case the 6, usually always goes in. You might make a wild ball, hopefully you don't get any clusters, and we got to give ourselves the best position to be on the lowest number ball on the table. Now if you break and your cue ball ends up back there and we don't make the 1 into the side pocket, 1 ball's going to sit up here, cue ball's down there, and now you are stuck. You're banking, you're pushing, you're playing safe, you're missing the ball, whatever it is, your opponent's more than likely coming back to the table. So we will try to get a successful break and get position on the 1 ball or the lowest number ball on the table. So to do that, we are going to hit square into the 1. And we're going to hit however much speed you're still comfortable with being able to control. So for me, probably about 75% of what I'm able to break at, right? That'll give me the best way to control it, to get a good spread of the balls, and to have that lowest number ball be available when you break. So square into the 1, middle ball on the cue ball. Don't do it 4. All right, well, we made the 6. 4 ball ruined the party. For running this out, let's just say that the 4 stayed here. All right, we don't need to be kicking or whatever. That's a video for another time. This table is pretty nice to be able to run out. So we got to think ahead. So the 1 ball gives us angle coming this way, which is basically where we need to be able to shoot the 2. So we just want to go and pocket the 1 with top spin, maybe a touch of right hand side, just to bring us straight in line with this 2. We want to be straight in line with the 2, right? If there's too much angle, we can still work with it, but if you're straight in on the 2, then you can draw straight back to the 3. So this is the line that we want to take right here. You always want to come towards your ball for shape. You don't want to go across the ball if you can avoid it. So obviously you have to sometimes, but if you're coming into the ball, that's always going to give you the best possibility of having shape because you can be here, 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 wherever, and you still have shape on the ball. If you got to come across it, like if we had to come from here across, we would have shape maybe here, 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 and that's about it. So this one, we will go top with a touch of right and come off of that end rail down there. And we're coming back straight into the ball. Perfect. Okay. Well, I said perfect, but it's not quite perfect. This is possibly the worst angle that I could ever have for this ball. Because I can't, if I draw back too hard, cue ball is probably coming straight towards the 3. So sometimes, one of my favorite things in pool, you got to take what the table gives you. So if I draw back and kind of leave the cue ball in this area here, that's going to give me good position to go around for the 4. I was hoping to be able to be straight, that I could just draw back, but if the cue ball is coming off this way, then I'm probably just going to have to leave it somewhere around here to be able to still stay in position on the 3 and get to the 4. So for this one here, we'll just look to draw back a little bit, make the ball, stay down on your shot. There we go. So that's the best what we could work with with the position that we had on the 2 ball. So now we're thinking ahead again. So the 3, we're going to come off of short rail. It's probably a pretty natural angle to go 1, 2, back out to the middle, and then be able to shoot the 4 into this pocket here. Right, we're not going to be able to hold for this pocket, right? Cue ball's coming over here. We don't really want to play all the way down. If you like that, go for it, but that's not the best way to shoot this ball. So for this one here, we are going to aim to hit the rail right in behind that 4, which means that we need a little bit of left-hand side on the cue ball. Just a touch, not full. So we'll make the 3, and we'll just come around with a high ball. 1, 2, out for pretty decent position on the 4 to the 5. So again, thinking 3 balls ahead. I got a nice little angle here that I can draw the cue ball out and get back over to here. Now, for the 5, so straight into the pocket is there. So that's the line. You want to be on this side of the line to get down to that 7 next. So I don't want to be on this side. If you were, you can work with it, right? But being on the proper side and having natural position to go to your next shot is always the easiest way. You make it look easy, right? The pros always make it look easy. Sorry for all the messages. So we'll just pop this ball and we'll come over here a little bit. We'll draw it back. So pop this with bottoms, natural angle is going to bring us back on the 5. Unfortunately, it was a little bit light on my end. So now we are dead straight on, which makes the rest of this run a lot tougher. All right, so there's no way to cheat this to bring it over. So I'm going to have to play short side position on the 7. Which means I got to roll forward and get the cue ball to here, which means potting that 7 and getting to that 8 a whole lot more difficult. Ideally, I would have liked to be here. That's going to give the angle to just be able to float forward, 7, 8, finish out the rack. So unfortunately, I hit that 4 ball a little bit light, and now I've got myself a little bit tougher. So we'll stay down on this shot, we'll make it, we'll follow through. You just got to know your table, you got to know the speed to hit it with. All right. So again, because I didn't get the proper position there, means that this shot became a little tougher, which means this shot became a little tougher, which means that shot's going to become a little tougher. Just 2 inches of position made this way tougher than it needed to be, but it is what it is. You got to roll with it, right? So this one here, if we hit it light, see, there's a good chance that your cue ball is going to come in behind the 9. So what we want to do is, might not have a choice. If we go too hard and run into the 9, who knows where it's going to go. And we're going to have to hit this soft and just hope not to get behind the 9. Maybe run into it, but I'll hit this soft. So just, I mean, obviously tops, that's the only part of the ball I can see. Make sure you make the ball. There we go. Okay, so yeah, we pushed it a little bit. That's okay. Now we got a nice angle just to be able to kind of hold the 8 ball in this area and have the 9 back down here. So this is where you got to hold your nerve, right? The 9 ball is pretty simple, but you got to make a good shot first. So we'll stay down on this shot. We'll hit bottom, and we'll make sure that we make the 8. All right, so I made that 8 ball a little wide, which meant that the cue ball came a little bit harder off of here than I wanted. Still have great position, right? But it just shows you making the 8 ball on this side versus this side brought me out here rather than just staying here. Not a big deal. Stay down, pop this ball, and run out the rack. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully you enjoyed.